Quad ace is funny. I guess we just ship it. It's almost impossible for us to get paid here, but you never know. He can have like kings or like... Yeah, it's almost impossible for us to get paid here. Don't have a spade. Opening sixes half the time. Just gonna fold without a spade. Ace jack, we can 3-bet, we can fold. Gonna fold this time. Here we flop a stat. Start with a small c-bet. Expecting to raise sometime here in his positions. On this turn we are just gonna check. I don't see any reason to barrel, especially with bottom stat. Like we only beating like 2 pairs. Lose to 10x now. He'll have like a lot of 7, 10, 9, 10, 8, 10 type of hands, suited connectors. But we're not folding, we're check calling the turn. And we are 4-betting here and get it in. Here we flop a flush. I'm just gonna call, not gonna do something crazy here. And on this river, it's pretty bad, but he has some 2-pair. I feel like 2-pair is probably checking back. I don't think we can fold to that. He's probably thinking he's getting value from overpairs, and then he has like he'll do this with 2 pairs. Obviously, he has tons of straights, but most likely 10x, but. We're just gonna call this river since we play like this way. Oh, got rivered. Should I bet the turn? Yeah, pocket tens. Unfortunately. Aces, blind versus blind. Hopefully you get some action. That's pretty good action. Gonna 4-bet. Here facing a jam, we just have to fold. It's unfortunate, but it's okay. Gonna go for a... For sports SUV, you prefer Lamborghini X6M or Audi? They're different price range. On this board, we block the top of the range so hard, I don't even think we should be betting this. Maybe using like a tiny bet, but I'm not even sure we should be betting this. Since we block like the top of the range super hard. When the ace there landed on the flop, so in a 4-bet pot. Hopefully he has jacks or queens. Gonna go for like small bet and then get it in on the river. Different price range, man. Lamborghini is like twice as much as the X6M. And there's no Audi SUV that costs anywhere near as expensive. Quad ace is funny. I guess we just ship it. It's almost impossible for us to get paid here, but you never know. He can have like kings or like... Yeah, it's almost impossible for us to get paid here. But SPR is really good, so he might call with like kings. Maybe queens. Definitely call with queens, but he tanks, so he doesn't have those. He's most likely folding. I'll be shocked if he called. Yeah. Pretty standard. Just too big, right? So it's just basic physics that you just cannot make a SUV handle as well as a sport car. So I don't see the reason of like popping up so much horsepower in it. They're pretty deep, so we can see a flop with Jack 9 suited. Pretty pretty good flop. We have the draw to the nuts and the backdoor flush draw. So I don't see the point of getting like expensive XUV with the huge performance, because I mean, if I want an SUV, I just get like regular X6, or just regular version of the SUV, and then I'll get like a sports car on the side, or even like just sedan. Even sedan is like better, like M5, MA, Grand Coupe competition. Those kind of cars are better in my opinion, are more worth the money, because this is a very interesting bet. I don't think we can fold, especially with the draw to the nuts. Obviously, when we call, we are exposed to be 3-bet by this guy, but that's an amazing river. The reason why we call on the turn is because it's a rainbow board, and then we're all like pretty deep, so this is a really good flop. $68. I'm gonna make a sizable raise, like 150 or something, even like 149. And here we get there with the flush. Just gonna here facing a check raise. We can 3-bet. We can call. I think calling is probably better. Just gonna small bet this river. I'm gonna raise. $50 on a turn. Just feel like he has a here we're gonna 4-bet and possibly just get it in. I'm gonna call. Since it's a little tighter player, so I'm not sure like what the, if we check raise, I'm not sure what that achieved. I think we'll go for check jam here. This is like a weird spot. Start with the check for sure though. I don't think small bet does too much. On this turn, like we lose to ace king, lose to king queen. If he has jacks or queens, he's probably checking back, so gonna give him credit and just fold. Against a type player, I think it's okay. We can check jam, we can check, and then we can check call and then let him bluff. We're probably check jamming this turn for sure. He could have some queens plus, but like a lot of time he has tons of ace king as well. Good luck to us. We can 4-bet here. I will run it while string's up. I'm facing a 3-bet. I think we should be 4-betting here. In some frequency, I'll say like maybe half the time. Roll a pretty high number, going for it. And facing a dunk bet, on this board we are just gonna call. It's a pretty good turn. Flop top set always helps. We can start with the check, we can start with the small c bet. Checking sometimes, I think. Mostly checking. And we are facing this small bet, I'm not sure. I feel like we should be raising. He does bet. We can check raise, we can check call. If we check call, pot's 100 something. I feel like check calling is probably better. That's a pretty good turn. Just gonna check again. Hopefully he barrels, but a lot of his jacks and queens probably just checks back here. If he bets, he could be bluffing. Obviously we had the nuts here, so it's a pretty easy call. Thank you very much. Huge Dodger fan, huge LeBron fan. Hopefully they both win tomorrow. We can do some 4-bet here actually. Calling isn't the worst too. Either way, calling is good. If ace king cut off, I guess we call in position. Ace queen is totally fine. One of the best flop. Facing this, we're just gonna call. This board is way too dry for us to do anything crazy. We could definitely have some queen jack here, so if he has like king queen, he might want to slow down a little bit. If he has aces, he might want to slow down either. When he barrels again, and if we call, if he has aces, he should be like slowing down. If not, we're pretty happy to call off as well. That's a pretty clean run out for ace queen. Calling a jam. We can jam here actually. Can we get like king queen to call here? When he checks the river, he definitely doesn't have a better hand than ace queen. Just trying to think if he's gonna call with king queen. But if not, then we can always, you know, wrap a bluff or something like that, so it's not the worst. This is why like as 4-better is like a lot better than just calling 3-bet out of position. Because if you had ace king and then we call 3-bet out of position, we're getting dominated, and then without the initiative, we're most likely just gonna lose the pot. But as a 4-better, we could always do like half pot c-bet on a board like that, and then get like ace king to fold, and then that's a huge win because we're basically denying like after the flop, ace king has like pretty much 80% equity against us, and then we pretty much deny all 80% equity by just by 4-betting. And as a 4-better, we get to c-bet. And on this board, we mostly just gonna call. We could mixing some raise, but mostly calling. And we're gonna fold 8s here. This is an interesting turn. He bet really big. I feel like a lot of river he's gonna shut down, and then we're only losing to ace 9 and ace queen, and obviously sets. Just gonna call. Most likely calling off on this river, unless it goes like crazy. If he check to us, we are checking back. We're not betting this river. I don't think like ace king will call. Maybe he would, but I'm just gonna call. It's pretty easy call. Yep, he's way too greedy there with ace king. Way too greedy there. The reason why he should just check back is because we could have tons of like 2 pairs, right? So especially like we call, like he's only beating like a flush draw realistically. We could have ace queen. We probably 3-bet ace queen. We could have ace 9. We can have ace 4. We can have pocket 4s like sets. And then especially on the river, we could have ace 7, we can have pocket 9s, we can have pocket 7s. Like ace king is just not gonna get that much value. The only value hand that will call him is ace jack. But that's just a little bit too greedy. This is like the river bet, especially potting the river, is just so greedy. Like it's basically forcing us to play perfect. We're never making mistake. We're folding ace jack, so he's never getting value on the river. So that river bet is kind of bad. We're playing the Cardinals in the NLCS, and I think it was game 1 or game 5. I don't remember. We had Kershaw pitching, and then we were leading 6-1, top of the 8. And then like when Kershaw has 4 rounds of war, his record was like 120, like 90 something wins and 0 losses back then. So I feel like everything is wrapped up, and then fucking Cardinal puts a fucking 7 spots on top of the 8, and then we ended up losing the game. It's like so crushing. And then I was there in person, like the entire stadium was just silent. It was such a weird experience. On this turn, I think we just go for a small bet again since we turned the quads. On this river, I'm not sure what to do. We're not really supposed to have that many 9x. I guess we jam this river. That's gonna be a little bit crazy, but gonna value raise this river. How much do we use? Not even sure. Definitely not too much though. Like 50? Hoping that he has a 7? Ace Queen! Facing those action, we definitely have to raise really big here with aces. Betting the turn. Checking back is okay. I guess we use another small bet. This is a tricky flop to play. Mostly we should be c-betting. Just gonna do half pot. Hopefully it's not too much aggression. Like our hands cannot sustain too much aggression. This is definitely one of the worst flop. Worst turn. And we are just gonna fold. This is kind of nasty. I actually feel like just folding here. We really don't be much against his betting range. Call a 3-bet. Not 3-bet, but he call a huge 8x raise. And then call a half pot c-bet. He's never bluffing here. He has 2 pair of sets here almost all the time or straight. So folding is fine. Pretty easy fold. Huge here against under down limp. Just gonna check back. Ace 3. Damn. On this board, we are checking back a ton, playing deeper. Playing this deep, I think we have to see a flop against a mid raise. Not the worst flop. I'm gonna bet a little bit here. Did you fold 5-5 under the gun? Folding 5-5 under the gun is a very, very normal thing. I don't know why you think it's I'm gonna check call on this board. One of the worst turn. Mostly check folding here. Pocket aces. Feel like using a larger sizing here is gonna check. He's gonna call like ace high sometimes here on this board. Pocket fours.